Growing up in San Diego, California, on Milan Street in Ocean Beach. Little childhood memories, let me tell you about them. Anyway, I remember when I was a kid. We had a nice little house, a nice big backyard, front yard. You could have that some 2 bedrooms, me and my sister. It was cool. Anyway, let me tell you a little story about this. My obsession when I was a kid was catching bees. I would love to catch bees. That was my hobby. Go out with my little jar, see a bees, the yellow honey jackets, bumblebees, whatever, catch them in the jar, and I'd watch them, and I'd watch them, study them until they died. Then I wouldn't have a bee anymore. So I came up with a brilliant idea. I told my mom, next time we have honey, don't throw away the jar. Save the honey residue in it because I'm going to feed the bees. I'm going to do them a favor. I'm going to feed them instead of just catching them. I'm going to give them something to eat when I catch them. So I did. I had the honey jar, and I went out there and I saw the bees, and I caught him. I caught the bee, and he was buzzing around. But the honey didn't feed him. What happened was the bee stuck to the honey in the honey jar, and he died a lot quicker than I wanted him to die. So anyway, that is my story about the bees in the honey jar. And I know it's kind of a tragic ending, but the bees paid me back. I'm going to tell you something. The bees paid me back. Bee karma is what I'll call it for now. One night at dinner, we had a beehive in the back. Well, not at dinner we had a beehive, but we had a beehive in the backyard in a footlocker. And at dinner that night, my parents were talking about getting rid of the bees in the beehive. They're going to get a exterminator out there and get rid of the bees. Get a bee guy out there, get rid of. I said, okay, cool. I'm going to get rid of the bees. So that night, I had an idea. I'm going to get rid of the bees for my parents. So the next morning, I got up early and I went out in the backyard. And I'm going to get rid of these bees, I said to myself. I'm going to get rid of these bees. And I took my broom and marched out to the footlocker in the backyard. And I saw the beehive and I started smacking with the broom. Going to kill the bees, get rid of them, so my parents won't have to spend the money. And needless to say, the bees got pissed. They started chasing me. All these bees, a big swarm of bees is chasing me into the house. And I'm screaming, Mom, Mom, the bees are chasing me. The bees are going to get me. Help me, help me. And she comes out of the house with her fly swatter to fend off the bees for me. Fend them off. Kill these bees. Get rid of these bees. But needless to say, they didn't get rid of them. The bees stung the shit out of me. I ran in the house. I'm crying. I got bee stings all over me. And needless to say, that wasn't a good idea. And I have some more stories to tell you that I'll tell you tomorrow. Maybe I'll tell you about this story tomorrow. I'll tell you this story real quick. This frog story. I have a frog story. There's a frog I found out in the front yard. And there's a big frog. And I thought, this is cool, a big frog. So I'm going to watch it fly. So I started throwing the frog up in the air. And it would crash to the ground because it couldn't fly. So I threw him up in the air again. And he'd crash to the ground and he couldn't fly. And so my dad came out and saw me doing this. And he's saying, what the fuck? He didn't say what the fuck. But he said, you're getting a spanking after dinner. Getting a spanking after dinner. What the hell? This was in the morning. I'm not getting a spanking. They'll forget about it by dinner time, so it's no big deal. So all day long, I'm thinking about this spanking. And so that night at dinner, my parents are sitting around the dinner table. My sister, my mom, and dad, they're all laughing and joking about the spanking I'm getting after dinner. And I'm thinking, that dinner's too far. They're not giving me a spanking after dinner now. They're making jokes about it. And I'm laughing along with them. But no, I got that spanking after dinner. I really did. Anyway, I deserved it. So this is my stories for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Do what you got to do. And I'll follow me, but you follow me too, please. Like and share, subscribe, do all that shit. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon.